Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Almighty Allah, the entirely merciful and especially merciful. Dear viewers across the planet, I greet you with the best greeting, the greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace be with you. Ameen, ameen. Dear viewers, welcome to Treasures from the Holy Quran. Take as much as you can. And there's only one condition, that is that you really need to understand it, so that once you perfect it, you start sharing it with others. One of these treasures is that, for example, that just from the title of this program, and as I said, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we have now three names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His name is Allah, and His name is Ar-Rahman, and His name is Ar-Rahim. And we can use any of these beautiful names and perfect names. The difference between the word Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, all of them are derived from the same root, which is mercy. But one is the entire mercy, because Allah has entire mercy for everything in this universe. Every human, every non-human, all of them enjoy the mercy of Allah. This is the general mercy of Almighty Allah. But at the same time, He has another beautiful name, which is special mercy. He has special mercy for the believers. And no doubt, a smart person would love to enjoy the general mercy and the special mercy. And I hope you become, and I become one of those people who enjoy the two kinds of mercy. Ameen, ameen. Today, I am going to handle one short verse in the Quran. Although it has been mentioned in the context of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt at a certain time, yet it is a very general thing. It applies to everyone. And it handles a problem of stubbornness, a problem that you see everywhere in the world. People who have this kind of single-minded, they don't think in terms of broad mind. They are not broad thinkers. They think very limited, and they only see one thing and they are convinced of it. And then they not only that, they reach this higher level of the problem, is that they want to spread it everywhere and by force. No. Even if you are smart, there are other smart people in different places. Even if you have some sort of knowledge around you, you may have the best or the highest IQ in your area, but there are many other people in different areas around you or far from you who have better thinking than you, the one that you have. Why you think that you are the best, and there are many other people who got the same IQ that you have? And then here the issue is, the one who's telling you this kind of knowledge is your Creator. He's not human. He is not a slave like me or like anyone else. And what are your sources? Your sources are only your image about yourself. You think that you are, just imagine. Your imagination is trying to convince you that you have better thinking than others. What is the proof? What is the source that you got your knowledge from? No answer, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you find those people everywhere, even in limited areas, even in a classroom, even in a bus, even in a station, even anywhere, workplace. You find many examples of them. Sometimes it is your boss, sometimes it's your father, sometimes it is your neighbor, someone who is always telling you that I am better than you. Not just better than you, and better than all of you. What is your proof for that? What kind of information that you are telling me that, what is the proof that you want to tell me that you are better than us? Your idea is better than us. This is a kind of, some people are so stubborn that they want to impose their own way of thinking and their own way of seeing things, or they want to put their viewpoints above all other viewpoints. Why is this? One example of this was the Pharaoh of Egypt, as it is mentioned in this verse, and this is chapter number 40, and this is ayah, verse number 29. Very short. This is a very famous statement that's so common that a lot of people memorize it. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ما أريكم إلا ما أرى وما أهديكم إلا سبيل الرشاد. Meaning, I show you only that which I see. In other words, the correct thing. And I guide you only to the path of right policy. And you forget that there are other people, they have brains, they have the better way of thinking, they have other sources, and they have other resources, and they are very well educated, perhaps better than you, and the information that you give them is so common that it's not your knowledge. You have not invented, this is the way that you see it, but the other people see it from differently. I'll give you an example, very famous example, and you can see it. If an accident happened in the street, on the road and the highway, and few people saw the accident, when those people report the accident to the policeman, you will find that when they reported differently. Simply, and all of them are straightforward people. They are good, honest people, yes. All of them have seen the accident, but they have seen it from different angles, different points, yet they are talking about the same thing, but the way their viewpoints are different based on their positions, based on the locations when they were during the accident. So why would you impose your viewpoint on his viewpoint? Why would I impose my viewpoint upon others unless your viewpoint is unique somehow? What is the uniqueness of your point and his point and my point? Someone would say that my viewpoint is taken from the book of Allah. Wow, now this is a different scenario. If your words are the exact words of Almighty Allah, your creator and my creator, then yes, I would say that I listen and support your viewpoint. Because it is not yours, rather it is your creator's. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when your creator says something, I would say that I listen and I obey. And obey what he says because he is almighty. He is the Lord to be followed. He is not human. And as we know that, since you are labeled as human, and we know that all of us, that humans make mistakes, to err is human. This is something known everywhere. But this is not the case with the divine. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the only Lord in this universe, whenever He says something, our response should be that we listen and obey. So when we deal with something divine, we have to deal with it differently than the sayings of the humans, because humans are similar to me and to you and to them. We are all humans. In other words, we make mistakes. So why should I think that my viewpoint is better than his, or hers is better than others? If we are humans, let's agree, as it is worldly known, that to err is human. That means that every human being's statement is possible to be here, to have errors. That's why we should not take it blindly, and we should not follow it blindly. No. We take the words blindly only if they are from our Lord, from the Creator of everyone. Because we have confessed, we have witnessed that He is all-knowing and He is all-wise. He is Al-Alim, He is Al-Hakim, with all these beautiful and perfect names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We know Him and we trust Him. We know His attributes and qualities. Therefore, we accept whatever He says to us. Not only that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout His entire Quran gives us evidence. Anyone who is following this Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, can give us many evidence and many proofs that He is all-knowing and He is all-wise. Based on these solid proofs that we can see by our own naked eyes, and we can see by our mind and by our thinking, when we examine all these proofs, we agree that they are 100% correct. Therefore, our logical understanding here becomes very normal to say that I accept whatever is given to me by Almighty Allah, whether it is in His book or in the tradition of His beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Based on these sources, authentic sources, I accept it and I take it and I support it. And this is the way to guarantee that you are on the safe side. Why? Because you are adopting what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. You are not adopting what humans are saying. Once you are 100% sure, you don't hesitate and I don't hesitate. And this is the way that people can agree on something voluntarily, without any compulsion on them. Nobody can compel anyone to adopt something. But if you know that He is the Lord and there's no other Lord, so why would you hesitate? I would not hesitate at all if it is something that I am certain of, something that I have seen, not because my father adopts it, not because my teacher taught me this, not because I researched it, but I have the evidence that it is purely authentic from Almighty Allah. Therefore, I adopt it. This is one of the ways that makes disputes among people is becoming less and less and less. Why? Because you spread out the true knowledge, which is something very badly needed everywhere in the world. Unfortunately, the truth that we come across now is fake truth. Is most of it is based on opinions and the interests and the benefits of some groups or some individuals or some powers on the earth, and they try to spread their news, their statements, their beliefs on others. That's why the main source is not the human. The main source is the divine, is whatever we get from Almighty Allah and His messengers. Based on this is a big difference of what is happening nowadays. Look at, for example, any magazines or any newspaper or any satellite channel or any other source, human source. Look at it and examine it. You will find even the knowledge in it sometimes changes from time to time. Not from time to time. Perhaps after few hours we'd find a change in it. Because we live in a world that's changing. But whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to us in His divine book is nothing but the truth. Based on this main difference, when we handle this kind of knowledge, we should handle it differently. This is the knowledge from Almighty Allah, so we should give it full respect and full obedience because it's not opinions. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called His ayat, all the statements in the 600 pages, all of them are called ayat. That means evidence. Every word and every statement and every sentence in these 600 pages are very authentic, are exactly the words of Allah. Now we are sure that they are the words of Allah. After that, there is no time to hesitate and we accept them. Based on this, we can easily know our way. We can easily know that we are in safe hands when we handle the knowledge from Almighty Allah. Therefore, we all the time, perhaps hundreds of times every day, we all the time thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are grateful to Him because He provided us with the knowledge that we need in our life and in later life. And this way, inshallah, our future is guaranteed because it's in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.